Welcome back. Stimulus struggle. The White House is signaling to Congress the next stimulus package must contain a payroll tax cut or risk President Trump rejecting any new deal. This adds to new tensions over how big the stimulus package could be. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying $1.3 trillion is not enough. That was the president's plan. Joining me right now is Texas Congressman, House Energy and Commerce Committee member, and medical doctor himself, Michael Burgess. Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us. You have a small window of time but when you get back to when you leave again in early August to actually get something done. Do you think we're going to see a fourth stimulus package before you guys leave again for the August recess?
It's boy, that's a question for the ages. The struggle, as you know, is the Speaker wants a good deal more stimulus, and the Senate Majority Leader wants some liability certainty as businesses begin to open back up. And it is the struggle between those two issues, as you know, and I've spoken on this program many times. I am absolutely in favor of a payroll tax cut, and if that's the direction the Speaker would try to go, I think we'd be able to get it done before nightfall tonight.
Well, I mean, here we are in a contraction. We are expecting growth for the second half of the year, but we're looking at a pretty sharp contraction in the second quarter. We are in a recession right now. How are you planning on getting us out of this, you and your colleagues? If it's not a payroll tax cut, what are the options? What are the levers you need to push? Is it all tax cuts or something else?
Oh, well, something else is letting the economy get back to work. I think we've talked about this before as well. There's almost no way that we can print or electronically manufacture enough dollars to take care of the entire throughput of the United States economy. We have to let people get back to being productive. We have to let people get back to work, and that's been one of the big challenges. Every time a state or a governor begins to open things up, then there's somebody who says you got to close it back down, and it's that whipsaw effect has created it's been very damaging.
Lee Carter.
There's polling says about 87% of Americans are very concerned about the economy in this moment. Polling also says that of all of the things that Americans are concerned about, that President Trump and the Republicans are the ones most likely to fix the economy. Outside of opening things, and that's a big debate state by state and the way people are handling it, what are things that you're going to do to make sure that money gets back into the American worker and that recovery is stimulated outside of just encouraging reopening?
Well, every one of the response packages that's happened so far has been geared toward that, some more so than others. Payroll protection turned out to be a pretty popular program, and it has benefited, I certainly know in the district that I represent, it's represented a vast number of, yes, small businesses, but more importantly, families who were dependent upon those dollars. The loan forgiveness aspect of the payroll protection program really made it extremely popular with businesses themselves. So I wouldn't be averse to looking at additional work in that regard. My understanding is the dollars are about exhausted from the second round. If it's necessary to do a third, I'm absolutely willing to listen to that. I do know that the Senate Majority Leader, and he's been quite firm on this, you've got to provide some certainty to those businesses reopening that there will be a modicum of liability certainty as they enter back in, and I agree with him. This doesn't matter whether you're talking about offshore oil production, offshore energy production, whether you're talking about working in a warehouse, or even our schools. You've got to be there's got to be some certainty that you're not opening yourself up to a liability bonanza by opening back up.
Well, I mean, while you and your colleagues are trying to put this thing back together, you've got anarchists out there trying to take it apart again, you know, destroying infrastructure and destroying statues. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy is introducing a new bill that would protect monuments and statues from being vandalized. This bill would withhold federal aid from state and local governments that do not protect these monuments. Congressman, what do you think about this? Would you vote for this proposal?
You know, I will tell you this. The hard part is that we're generally talking about monuments to Democrats, who were the ones primarily responsible for all of the problems that today's Democrats are complaining about. Look, why don't we we shouldn't forget our history. At the same time, where are the people who are talking about building new monuments? Why are we just tearing down old monuments? It almost reminds me of what the Taliban did in Afghanistan around the time that they came into power with blowing up all the Buddhist statues. Why are we trying to destroy our history? It doesn't make good sense.
Yep, you make a good point. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning, sir. Thanks so much.
Good deal. Thanks,
We'll keep
Maria.
watching.